Hello, everyone out there in YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego. And today we are going to continue to talk about Dirty Dancing. That's right, Dirty Dancing, that wonderful, wonderful romantic musical, if you want to call it that, from 1987. It's a piece of shit. I've been saying it's a piece of shit. It's still a piece of shit. All right, and I know it's very popular. A lot of people like it. A lot of girls liked it. I remember I was around at that age. I was a kid at that time. I was like 12 or 13 years old at that time when that movie came out. I'd hit puberty, and and I just remember being inundated with Dirty Dancing everywhere I went. Even though I did not go see the movie, I didn't see the movie for like another year on cable. Yeah, I saw it like on HBO or something because my cousin wanted to fucking watch it. That was the first time I saw it. Okay, but you couldn't get away from Patrick Swayze in 1987. He was everywhere. All the magazine covers, all the talk shows. Okay, he was everywhere. His mom was even selling freaking VHS tapes on how to dance, how to dirty dance with her son. Yeah, exactly. That was what's going on. Okay, it was a crazy time. The 80s fucking sucked, let me tell you. And Dirty Dancing was a big part of it, although the music was pretty good. I did enjoy the music in this movie. One of the cool things this movie did do, okay, was it brought back a lot of songs from like the 1960s and 50s and brought them back into the modern era back then. So for a lot of us, this was the first time we had ever heard these oldies, okay, like "Do You Love Me" by the Contours, shit like that. We hadn't really heard that music before. We were listening to modern songs. We didn't go to the oldie station. Okay, our parents did that. We didn't do that. Okay, so this was our first exposure to these old songs. From back then, from the early '60s. Before Kennedy was assassinated, before the Beatles even showed up here. Yeah. So that was a big part of it too. I remember hearing a bunch of fucking old songs on the radio all the time. And it was because of this fucking movie. All right, but I also heard a lot of modern songs. Okay, that were also in this fucking movie. So they're trying to play both angles here. They're trying to get the middle-aged women in here to relive their youth, and they're trying to get the teeny boppers in there to get all fucking horny and buy the fucking VHS when it came out and shit. Go to the theater, and find out what it's all about, right? Now, I've already commented on a lot of the shortcomings of this movie, okay, as far as the believability, the verisimilitude, there isn't any. Okay, this is not a believable story at all. This is a romance between a 17-year-old girl, okay, and a fucking 25-year-old man, okay? The 17-year-old is played by 26-year-old Jennifer Grey, and the 25-year-old is played by a 34-year-old Patrick Swayze, okay? So, yeah, it's not. And he looks 35. I'm sorry, he looks 34. He looks 34. He doesn't look 25, okay? All right. If you want to see what Patrick Swayze really looks like when he was 25, then you need to see an episode of MASH. He was on one episode. Look it up on YouTube. MASH, the TV show MASH, is about the Korean War. For those of you who don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, it was a sitcom about the Korean War. Yeah, a sitcom about the Korean War. But this sitcom lasted for 11 years. That's longer than the actual Korean War lasted. Okay, the show lasted. Okay, and Patrick Swayze was in an episode of that. All right. See how young he is in that one, okay? And also, he was also in Skate Town, USA, and that was he was like 20. I want to say he was 26 in that one. Okay, so he's close to being 25. Skate Town, USA, that was 1979. Okay, that was one part of the roller disco era. Okay, that and Xanadu and all sorts of stupid shit like that. I remember the 70s. 70s were better for me anyway. I know not for America they weren't that good, but for me the 70s were better because I was a young kid. I didn't understand about the gasoline shortage or Vietnam or any of that shit. Right? But the 80s I remember very well, and the 80s fucking sucked for me, man. It was a bad time. I'm glad it's over. I'm glad the 80s are over, okay? Unfortunately, this movie brings me back there, okay? So this movie's called Dirty Dancing, okay? Got a lot of girls wet. It did. I'm going to call it like I see it, all right? When I finally watched this movie, I knew it was bullshit. Like I said, the verisimilitude, there isn't any. Okay, this is a fantasy tale. This is a tale written by a very horny, ugly teenager. A girl who wishes that the hot guy would date her, would fall in love with her, and live happily ever after. Okay, so she wrote a fucking story about that. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. Okay, yes, of course it's immature and it's stupid and it's not believable. Okay, but there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying it's wrong. I mean, look at a lot of the fucking a lot of these goddamn movies. Okay, where the fucking you got the nerdy guy gets the hot girl. Okay, I mean, it's a whole fucking genre. Okay, like a Scott Pilgrim. There's one. Career opportunities. I'm just pulling these out of my fucking ass right now, okay? Okay. The point is, it's a fucking genre. The nerdy guy gets the hot girl, okay? There've been a lot of movies like this, okay? And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I'm saying like we know those movies are bullshit. We know in real, because we live in the real world. In the real world, guys like that don't get girls like that, okay? So, okay, so we live in the real world, and that's what I'm saying is that this movie, you've got to place it in that same category with that genre, okay? Because that's where it belongs. We've all seen 10. You know, maybe you haven't seen, but there's a movie called 10 that came out in the late 70s with Dudley Moore, who, if you don't know, Dudley Moore is a short little fucking British guy. You know, a really short British guy, and he gets fucking Bo Derek falls in love with him. Bo Derek was like the hottest girl that year in 1980, okay? Hey, get the fuck out of here. It ain't gonna happen in real life, okay? But it happens in the movie, okay? So I'm saying this movie belongs in that genre. It belongs in that genre. It doesn't belong in the fucking romantic fucking musical genre. It belongs in the bullshit genre, okay? Nothing wrong with it, but just you gotta label it correctly, okay? Because a lot of girls are thinking, especially when I was a kid, all these teeny boppers that I went to junior high with, all these 13-year-old and 14-year-old girls, they were all fucking creaming over Patrick Swayze, okay? They actually thought this was real. They thought this was realistic. Even I was a fucking 13-year-old when I saw this movie, 13 or 14 years old when I saw this movie. Even I knew that it wasn't realistic. Even I knew it was bullshit. You know, but oh well, you know, it made a lot of money, so it made somebody happy. Okay, I know it made fucking Patrick Swayze happy because this launched his career into the fucking stratosphere. He became an A-lister after this. Jennifer Grey did not, but Patrick Swayze did. No, nobody in this movie became an A-lister except for Patrick Swayze. He's the only one. Everyone else stayed a character actor. Yeah, I know, it sucks, right? It sucks. But that's what happened, all right? You know, another note, I did mention in the last video, I want to do a correction here, because I did talk about Matthew Broderick for a minute there, Ferris Bueller himself. Right before this movie came out in 1987, Matthew Broderick was in Ireland. I said Scotland in the last video. He was in Ireland, okay? Now, his family is Irish, so they actually own an estate over there. And he was on vacation with his girlfriend, Jennifer Grey. Yes, they were boyfriend and girlfriend in real life, okay? Obviously, they met on Ferris Bueller, where they played brother and sister on Ferris Bueller, but they started dating in real life. Okay, Jennifer dated a lot of fucking guys. She dated fucking Johnny Depp and a shitload of other guys. But anyway, yeah, they were on vacation together in Ireland, and they'd been drinking a lot, and she was giving him a blowjob while he was driving. He wasn't familiar with driving on the left side of the road, you know, with the steering wheel on the right side of the car, because, you know, in America, you don't do that. Well, I guess he lost control of the vehicle probably when he came, you know, and he fucking crashed into another vehicle, okay? And he didn't kill one woman, he killed two women. There was a woman in her 20s, and then her mom was also in the car, and they both died. Okay, so it was two people he killed in that accident. I said that he was okay. Actually, well, he broke his leg in the accident, and Jennifer Grey suffered severe whiplash, which later on, like some good 20, 30 years later, she had to have surgery for it. Okay, so yeah, so they were injured as well. Okay, but you know, because they're famous, and the media really played it down. They didn't really talk about it that much, you know, and the attorneys jumped all over this shit. He managed to get off with just like $175 fine. Yeah, Matthew Broderick, for killing two people. Yes, I know it was an accident, but you know, he was recklessly driving, and you know, what the fuck? He was drinking. So what the fuck? You know, he killed two people. You know, and he basically got charged today's the equivalent of $175 traffic fine. And then he went back to America, and that was the end of that. Yeah, I know, right? Fucking fucks. It helps when you're fucking rich, isn't it? Rich and famous. You can get away with a lot more shit, right? I mean, look at Alec Baldwin. If you and I had done anything like that, would we be out there finishing the movie that the assistant director got killed on? Would we? No, it wouldn't. We wouldn't. We'd be in fucking jail right now. Okay, anyway, moving right along. So that really did happen. I just want to make that correction right now. And because of the guilt that Jennifer Grey felt because of that accident, okay, in Ireland, she said in an interview that she could not fully appreciate the success of Dirty Dancing because her face was everywhere too, although nothing came of it, okay, but she really couldn't appreciate that time in her life because she was so burdened with the guilt of her boyfriend killing two fucking people on the road while she was giving him a blowjob while he was driving. Yeah, fucked up, right? Anyway, so moving right along, I just got to put that out there to correct what really happened. Okay, so anyway, so where we left off last time, okay, and yes, I'm going to give you a straight man's point of view. I'm going to tell you the truth from a straight guy's point of view. I'm not one of your girlfriends. I'm not one of your gay friends. I'm going to tell you what guys really think about this movie and these situations and these characters, all right? The real question is, can you handle it? Can you handle the truth? All right, we'll see. We'll see. Moving right along, where we left off last time, let's see, Baby was all fucking horny. He wants to fuck Johnny. Yeah, that's it. Movie's over. Okay, no. Okay, I guess there's a few more details we need to get out of the way. Okay, first of all, she's 17 years old. Sorry, 16. Oh, they couldn't make that movie, could they? She's 17 years old. Okay, and she's over there training to dance. for this mambo event, mambo dance that she needs to do because the girl that's supposed to do it has to get an abortion that day, so she can't be there. Okay, so in order to keep their jobs, she agrees to be trained in dancing mambo, even though she's never fucking seriously danced a day in her fucking life. Since Johnny's such a great dancer, he can teach anybody. Okay, that's what Penny, the female dancer that's getting the abortion, that's what she said. So he decides to teach her, and of course she starts falling in love with him. She's already attracted to him. Now she starts falling in love with him while he's fucking, being the taskmaster, teaching her how to do spins and shit. He did not teach her how to do the fucking the lift, the jump where she jumps up and he picks her up. He hasn't taught her how to do that, so they decide they're going to try to learn how to do that. So they go out in the fucking woods. It's raining when they fucking leave, I guess the cottage that they were fucking practicing in. Okay, it's raining. He smashes his window, and then it immediately stops raining once they get to the fucking field. And guess what? The grass is not even wet, even though it was thunderstorming like fucking 3 seconds ago. The grass isn't wet, so they just start walking around and start practicing the dances. And they decide to go on this log, this big fucking wooden trunk, tree trunk that's across this little creek there. So he stands there barefoot on the tree trunk, dressed in black, with his black wife beater and his black pants, and she decides to join him up there to try to balance herself as well, barefoot, dressed in white capris and a white fucking blouse. Okay, so they're doing that. You get the parallel here of the bridge. Okay, he's black, he's corrupting her, she's white, virgin. Get the fuck out of here. She's not a fucking virgin. All right, okay. So that's going on here, okay, and we hear this stupid-ass song because you can't just have an interaction. Those two can't have an interaction together without there being a fucking soundtrack, okay? We already heard Hungry Eyes when he was fucking trying to teach her, how to dance during that montage, and there was another montage before that where we heard fucking, what the fuck was it called? Wipeout by the Safaris, okay, the fucking surfer song. Wipe out, yeah, we heard that montage as well, okay, and now we're gonna get another one. Now we're gonna listen to fucking Hey Baby, okay, by Bruce Chanel. It came out in 1959, so that would have been an older song. Okay, this movie takes place in 1963, okay, and you've heard the song. It's like, hey baby, I want to know if you be my girl. This is back when fucking songs were like 2 minutes long, because that way the DJs and the radio stations could play more songs in an hour, So yeah, it's one of those songs, all right? So we hear it, and they start dancing on the log. They start doing like the twist and shit on the log. I guess they're trying to be romantic. The visual's pretty good, but there's no substance to it because they're not really saying anything. Okay, they're just standing there, dancing, trying to keep their balance on a fucking log. Okay, both of them there, and like I said, they start doing the twist. Okay, so that's it. It's just the symbolism. That's the only reason this scene exists. He's black, she's white. He's wearing black, she's wearing white. So he's going to corrupt her. In other words, some of that blackness is going to get inside her. Ooh, yeah, we know that's coming. Okay. Anyway, so he tries to teach her the lift out in the meadow. Some meadow, like I said, is fucking dry now. Even though it was thunderstorming fucking 2 seconds ago, it's dry now. So she's running around there. They're in the field, and she tries to do it, but she can't. So he starts making more space, and she runs up to him, but she can't really fucking bring herself to jump up there. Okay, so he says, the best place to practice doing the lift is actually in water. So the next thing you know, they're in a fucking lake or a river or a pond or something. Anyway, they're down there, okay, and they're soaking wet. Of course they are, okay, and and he picks her up, okay, in the water. In the water, he can hold her up for a few seconds, but then he brings her back down again. So it's not very good, okay. And then we start hearing the music changes. We start hearing the music, the instrumental version of "Time of My Life," which is a song that came out in 1987, okay. But they put it into a scene that takes place in 1963. This is the kind of bullshit I'm talking about. All right. So anyway. So that's going on here, and you can start to tell that Baby, not so much Johnny, okay, because I'm sorry, Patrick Swayze's not acting very well in this movie. There's no way in fucking hell I can believe that Johnny's fallen in love with Baby. He is not. What a normal guy like him would be thinking was, oh my God, I'm gonna fuck a teenager tonight. Okay, I'm gonna fuck a teenager tonight. That's what a normal guy, a 25-year-old guy, even though he looks 34, okay, because he is 34, a normal 25-year-old guy was teaching a fucking 17-year-old girl how to dance, and they're in the fucking water doing lifts. That's what he's thinking. I guarantee it, lady. That's what he's thinking. I'm going to fuck a 17-year-old tonight. That's exactly what he's thinking. But in this movie, we can't have that. You know why? Because it was written by a fucking woman and it was directed by a gay guy. So, of course, no heterosexual men need offer their services in helping out with this fucking script, right? Okay, so that's going on here. Okay, the next scene we see is Penny and Baby are walking into this fucking, I guess, the clubhouse or something there. Okay, I guess they're going to she's going to try on her dress in the locker room or something. Well, while they're walking in there, there. This old lady comes out. Her name's Mrs. Schumacher. Now, this old lady's got to be like in her 60s or 70s. She's this eccentric old lady, you know. Nobody pays her any attention, but she drops her purse in front of them. So they bend down to help her pick up the stuff that was in her purse, the contents of her purse. And we notice there's like 4 different wallets in there. Okay, now what kind of woman has 4 different wallets? Well, these girls don't get suspicious about that at all, and they just pick up all the wallets and put it back in her purse and give it back to her. Meanwhile, she tells this bullshit story about how she's been coming there since she was a little girl, you know, and how George Burns, yes, oh God himself, George Burns, fucking used to teach the dance lessons back in the day. And then her husband, who's also another old fart, comes over there and they walk away together. He like rushes her out of there, okay? Well, obviously there's something fishy about that, and then we'll come back to this later. Okay, so they go into the locker room, okay? It's Baby and Penny go in the locker room, and Baby's trying on the red dress that she needs to wear for the Mambo dance exhibit that they have to do at the hotel. This is the one that a Baby's been training for, because obviously Penny cannot make it because she's having her abortion that night by some fucking seedy doctor, okay? So that's the reason Baby had to take this crash course on dancing the mambo. So they're trying on the dress that she's going to wear, and she's a little nervous about it, okay? And she's talking out loud about the steps and about when she's going to have to do her twists and her moves and all that kind of. She's afraid of basically showing her ass on stage, okay? Now, this is not at the resort that her and her family are staying at. This is at a different resort about 20 minutes away. So the goal is to get this thing done without her dad finding out about it, okay? That's the goal, okay? To get over there, do this fucking mambo dance with Johnny so that Johnny doesn't lose his job or his contract with that hotel, and then come right back before anybody notices that she's been missing, okay? So that's the goal, okay? So she's there, she's talking to Penny, she's trying on the red dress, and she's, you know, and she's very nervous, okay? And then Penny, for some fucking reason, just decides all of a sudden to tell Baby that she's not a slut. And she's like, hey, I'm not a slut. Like, what the fuck? Okay, but Baby didn't ask you that. Okay, she was talking about her own fucking problems. She don't want to hear about yours, okay? But for some reason, and Penny does this, okay? For some fucking reason, she just fucking tells Baby information that she has no fucking business knowing, and she's not the only one. Billy does that too. Everyone fucking just tells her shit that she has no fucking business knowing. That's one of the biggest fucking problems I have with this fucking movie and this fucking script, okay? Bobby over here, the guy that knocked up Penny and does not acknowledge that that's his kid, okay? He's telling her what an asshole he is and shit. Like she don't need to fucking know that. She should be able to figure that out on her own. You know, he's got to tell her. He's got to tell her that shit. Get the fuck out of here. You know? And then Penny, like the first time she ever talks to Penny, the first thing Penny tells her, and she talked to her to pay her a compliment, what a great dancer you are. That's what Baby told her. And what does Penny do? She immediately goes into this fucking story about how her mom kicked her out when she was 16, and she's been on her own ever since, and that's why she learned how to love dancing and shit. That's all she ever wanted. What the fuck? She don't even hear your fucking A&E biography on you. And now, for some fucking reason, Penny just decides to tell her, hey, listen, I'm not a slut. I'm not a slut. That's what she says. She says, I'm not a slut. No matter what Robbie might have told you, I'm not a slut. Except when I am. Well, it's true. She's over here saying that Bobby is the fucking father. Bobby's the asshole fucking waiter I just mentioned, Bobby Gould, okay, who's going to Yale Medical School. Yeah, he doesn't need to work there. He's just there to get laid. Okay, yeah. So according to Penny, he's the dad. He refuses to acknowledge this baby. He refuses to pay for an abortion, so that's why Baby had to come up with the money. Baby got the money by asking her dad for it. Her dad was like, "It's not anything illegal, is it? That's a lot of money. Are you in this sort of trouble?" You know, and she's like, "No." He's like, "Okay, you can have the money." But, you know, and that's pretty much it. That's the extent of his curiosity in giving his daughter what in 2023 is the equivalent of $2,500. Okay, yeah, no questions asked, really. Okay, no answers needed, really, is more the saying. Okay, so Penny tells her, I'm not a slut, no matter what Bobby told you, except when I am. Okay, I added that part, but it's true. There's no way in fucking hell you're going to convince me that Bobby is the only candidate for being the baby's daddy, okay? I'm 150% positive that Johnny has been fucking her as well. He most definitely has. I don't give a shit what this fucking movie tells you. Like I said, it was written by a fucking horny 13-year-old girl. Okay? Get the fuck out of here, okay? I'm telling you as a straight fucking man right now, just based on the interaction I have seen with Johnny and Penny in this movie. The way they dance together. The way he picks her up when she's crying. The things he tells her when she's fucking in pain. You know? Okay, all these little subtle cues. Okay, about Johnny and Penny. There's no fucking way in hell you're going to convince me they're not fucking each other. They most definitely are. This movie ain't gonna go there because it got to make Johnny to be this virtuous fucking guy who only has eyes for fucking underage, big-nosed Jewish girls. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here with that noise. He most definitely is fucking Penny. He's most definitely a candidate for being a fucking baby's daddy. And who the fuck else knows who Penny's been fucking in that place? Bobby was right when he said that. She's probably boned every guy in this place. Well, maybe that's a little excessive, but you can't fucking tell me that Bobby's the only guy she's been fucking there. Get the fuck out of your mind. Get the fuck out of here if you believe that. Okay, she's most definitely been boning other guys, and she's definitely still boning Johnny. I don't give a fuck what Billy says in this fucking movie. He's most definitely still boning Johnny. Most definitely. Okay? Okay, you know, the way he acts with Penny, okay, I do not act that way with my platonic girlfriends. Okay, not at all. Not at all. And I got some platonic girlfriends that I'm very close with, okay, and I still don't act the way Johnny acts with his platonic girlfriend. Get the fuck out of here, all right? Anyway, he fucking ate her out in front of the whole fucking, at the clubhouse earlier in the movie, all right? Get the fuck out of here, in front of everybody. Come on. Come on, Ripley don't believe that shit, and you shouldn't either. But of course, Baby believes it because she's 17 and stupid. Okay? But this movie's from her point of view, so that means that you're stupid too, because you're going to believe everything that she believes. Okay, so moving right along, okay, what do you call it? She tells her that, you know what, I'm not a slut, she thought that Robbie loved her. Oh my God. Now I can understand Baby because I know Jennifer Grey is 26 when she made this movie, but her character is 17, so her character doesn't know shit. All right. So I can understand Baby believing that, but come on, how old is Penny in this movie? They don't say her age, but I'm gonna guess she's probably Johnny's age, which is supposed to be 25. Okay. And you really believe that a 25-year-old will fall for that? I mean, look at the fucking situations. Okay. Look at the fucking situation they're in, okay? Imagine me, for example. Let's say I go to a fucking a titty bar, okay? And I spend a shitload of money in there. And I walk out of there with a hot fucking young girl who's in love with me now, all right? And is willing to have sex with me, okay? And I tell you this. I say, hey, listen, I just met this hot-ass girl. I'm in love. We're both in love. We had sex last night. Well, where'd you meet her at? I met her at a titty bar. Yeah, I spent about $500 on champagne, about $2,000 on her. Hey, and we're together now. Oh, my God, we're in love. She loves me. You know? You see what I mean? Would you believe that? Of course not. You know why? Because you're a fucking adult and you know better. Okay? So why the fuck would she believe that this guy, this waiter who's going to Yale Medical School would fall in love with this girl who I mean, yeah, she used to be a rockette, okay, but she's below him, socially, economically, you know, she's below him. You know, this guy looks down on people that are below him. You know, I mean, look at the book that he's reading, Anne Rain, The Fountainhead. That was part of her objectivism. Was that if they haven't earned their right to be on your level, they're not on your level. You see what I mean? That's objectivism. That's what he believes in. That's what Bobby Gould believes in. Okay, there's no way in hell. Yeah, he would fuck her. Of course he would. Of course he would. But why would he give her the impression that he's in love with her? And this girl, Cynthia Rhodes, she's been on the road since she was 16. Well, why has she been on the road since she was 16? Why did her mom kick her out when she was 16? Probably because she was fucking guys. All right? So this woman's been around the block. Okay, she should know bullshit when she hears it. Okay? The fact that he conned her, you know, that way, like he tricked her into fucking him, and he told her he was in love with her. Get the fuck out of here. Come on. I can understand Baby falling for it. Baby does fall for it in this movie. Okay, but Penny should know better. She's older. She should be wiser. She should know a lot, but she should be mentoring Baby and not the other way around. The fuck out of here. Okay, so that's going on here. So she thought Robbie loved her. She thought that she was special. Get the fuck out of here. You know, I swear to God, sometimes when I watch these movies, sometimes, and they come across with this, one of the biggest tricks that chick flicks do, okay, which really pisses me off, but I'm going to say it out loud anyway, because guys, if you're watching this, you need to fucking hear this, okay? The thing with a chick flick is what they try to do here is they try to make it look like this girl, whoever she is, whoever the protagonist female romantic interest is in the movie, that she is one in a million. Okay, that she's special. All the other women are not special, but she's special. And that's why she's the one that needs to get the guy, or that's why the guy needs to pick her, or she needs to pick the guy, or whatever, because she's so fucking special, okay? That is the thing, okay? And how do they do that? They make sure there's no other beautiful women in the movie. And if they are, they're sluts, or they're stupid, or they're evil, that kind of shit. That's what they do, so that the guy doesn't get distracted with another girl. He can only be with one girl, okay? You can only fall in love with that one girl. You see what I mean? Because she's the special one. Get the fuck out of here, okay? You know what happens, ladies, when every girl is special? You know what happens when every girl is special? No one is! This whole fucking idea, like you're one in a million. You are one of a million. I'm sorry, but I'm telling you the fucking truth. This is the fucking truth. The guys that play women, the guys like Bobby Gould, okay, you know how they get away with it? Because they know better. They know. You are not one in a million. You are one of a million. Okay? Jesus Christ, dude. This movie ain't gonna go there, right? No, of course not. Of course not. All right, moving right along. So Penny's not a slut. That's why she's fucking knocked up and getting an abortion. Okay. So that's going on here. And then all of a sudden Penny tells Baby that she's scared. Well, she's having an abortion tonight. Of course she's scared. So your Baby was trying to tell her about how scared she is about doing this fucking mambo dance. And now Penny's telling Baby how scared she is about getting the abortion tonight. That her dad paid for. So anyway, the next scene is Baby goes up to her sister Lisa, who's a stuck-up girl. Okay, but she's hot. She really is hot. And that's the one that Bobby's trying to fuck right now. Okay, he tried to fuck her out on the golf course the other night, but she rejected him, but she still wants to go out with him and see him again. Why? Anyway. So, yeah, so that's going on here. Anyway, so Baby goes up to Lisa and tells Lisa, hey, listen, you need to cover for me tonight. I got to go do something. Just tell Mom and Dad that I'm sick. And then make sure you check up on me at least once, okay? And then she fucking leaves, okay? Well, the next scene we go to, okay, Baby and Johnny perform the mambo. Okay, the mambo magic is what they call it. The mambo magic at this other hotel nearby, okay? Johnny's clearly much better than Baby at this. He knows all the steps. Baby's like very, trying to fumble around. I mean, most of it she does very well. So I give props to Jennifer Grey. She does really well. I mean, her dad in real life, Jennifer Grey's dad was Joel Grey, who was a famous Broadway dancer, a singer, He performed in Cabaret with Liza Minnelli. Okay, they did Cabaret. Remember that? Remember that Cabaret? Money makes the world go around, the world go around, the world go around. Yeah, that was Joel Grey. Okay, that was Joel Grey. All right, that's her dad. Okay, very distinguished, famous Broadway dancer performer. Okay, so she tries to dance. She does a pretty good job. Okay, it's just some of the stuff is she just can't do. Okay, like I said, and she does a minor screw up. She can't do the fucking she can't do the jump. Okay, the lift, okay? She tries to do it and then she fucking chickens out at the last minute. He tells her, come on, come on, come on. And she chickens out at the last minute. Okay, and then she turns around and starts doing a jig. She's just like... it's stupid, but it's fucking hilarious, okay? It was fucking hilarious, all right? It brought back memories of fucking Ashley Simpson. You remember that on Saturday Night Live? I think that was like in 2004, or it might have been 2005. You remember that episode of Saturday Night Live where Jude Law was the host? Ashley, what the fuck's her name? Ashley Simpson, yeah, Jessica Simpson's younger sister. She had a music career that lasted for like a good fucking 2 minutes. Anyway, back when she was popular in the early 2000s, she was the musical guest on Saturday Night Live, and she was lip singing her song, okay, on Saturday Night Live, and for some reason, the sound cut out or something, all right, and so she was singing, but there was no. There was no sound coming out. So clearly she had been lip singing this whole time. Now it was her own song, but she wasn't actually singing. She was lip singing on stage. Okay, this brings back memories of Milli Vanilli back at the MTV Music Awards in 1989. Okay, or 1990. Yeah. So she basically got caught out, fucking lip singing live on Saturday Night Live live. And so what did she do but she couldn't save herself anymore. There was no music, there was no song coming out. So she started doing this hoedown. She got nervous and started doing a hoedown. And then she just fucking said, fuck this, and walked off stage. This reminded me of that. Okay, those of you who are old enough to remember that, look it up on YouTube. Ashley Simpson and Saturday Night Live. It's fucking hilarious. And her career never recovered, by the way. Her career never recovered from that. Okay, but yeah, that reminded me of this. Okay, she just fucking lost her shit. And just, so, and luckily Johnny ropes her back in and tells her to finish the fucking dance. And so they finish the dance. They get a standing ovation. They get an applause and all that kind of shit. Okay. He recovers for her and they finish his dance. Okay, now Baby does notice when she was up on stage, she did look down at the audience and she did notice that old lady again, Mrs. Schumacher, the one that she found all those fucking wallets in her purse and did not get suspicious at all. She's there. She's there with her husband watching the show. So now Baby's afraid that Mrs. Schumacher is going to tell someone at the resort, the Kellerman Estates, that, hey, they're going to be like, hey, Jake, we saw your daughter dancing with that guy over at this other hotel that we went to a show over there. We saw your daughter over there. Yeah. And she does not want that to happen. Okay. Cause, she's fucking hiding shit from her dad. Okay. The next thing we see is Baby is getting dressed in the back seat of the car. Johnny's driving. It's still got the fucking hole in the window that he smashed in. He never fixed it. And Baby's in the back seat getting dressed, put on her regular clothes. Okay, and then she fucking jumps into the front seat of the car. Now, this is one of those fucking TV scenes, wherever they show people in the car talking while one of them's driving, obviously, this was filmed on a stage. You can tell there's no real traffic or anything like that. The car's not moving like a normal car would move when you're actually driving a car. They're just sitting in there, and you can tell it's fake, okay? She gets dressed in the car, and Johnny watches her from the rearview mirror, watches her getting dressed, okay? Okay, then she goes up front, okay? Okay, at the next scene that we see is that they're at the staff bungalow. They get back to the bungalows where the employees live, the poor employees, not the rich ones. Okay, where Johnny and his people live. Okay, where they have the clubhouse where they have their fucking dirty dancing shit. And when they get there, Billy runs up to him. Okay, Billy's been there. It looks like Penny had her abortion, but it didn't go well. All right. Billy explains that Penny is in a lot of pain right now. Okay. And of course, he's all frantic and shit. Like, the doc that he hired for the abortion, he showed up with a fucking a rusted knife and a fucking folding table. And once I heard her screaming, I tried to get in there, John. You got to believe I tried to get in there, but the door was locked. I heard her screaming when he did to her, that kind of thing. All right. And you try to go in there, once again, Billy being fucking useless as fuck, okay? Of course, okay, so Baby hears all this. Johnny goes in there to comfort Penny, and Baby runs into a fucking sprint to go wake up her dad, okay, who's asleep in their bungalow, in the rich part of the estates, the rich part of the fucking Catskill Mountains, fucking Kellerman Resorts. So she goes in there in the middle of the night, wakes up her dad. What's wrong? Is there something wrong with Lisa? He said, no, you gotta come with me. So she brings her dad back. Okay, doesn't explain to him why, but she brings her dad back, and her dad grabs his medical bag and follows her out there. Okay, now her dad is played by Jerry Orbach, a famous actor, a character actor on TV. Okay, so he shows up there. Okay, and he checks out. He looks at Penny, and Penny, of course, is screaming in pain. Okay, whatever the fucking this quack doctor did to her, she's in a lot of pain. Okay. And the first thing he says is he calms her down. And he says, who's responsible for her? And Johnny says, me, I am, and then Jake notices his daughter, Baby, put her hand on his shoulder, on his arm. So now he's putting two and two together like, oh, what the fuck has my daughter been doing? Who the fuck are these people my daughter's been hanging out with? So now when there's a life and death situation, now he gives a shit about what his daughter's been doing, because he hasn't given a shit about what she's been doing throughout the whole fucking movie. Okay, not at all. Okay, so he puts her. She sees Baby put her arm on Johnny's shoulder. He's not happy about that. Okay. When he calms down Penny though, and you see he gives her an injection of something. Okay. Now everyone there is standing outside waiting for fucking Jake to come out to find out what's going on. He comes out there. He tells Billy she'll be okay for now. And then of course Johnny goes up to him and says, hey, I just want to say thank you, doctor, for what you did in there. He offers his hand, and Jake just looks at fucking Johnny and is like, and walks away, and he brings Baby with her. Okay. So obviously he's not happy. Okay. And so he starts walking over the bridge with Baby. He's going back to his bungalow, and he brings his daughter with him, and he says so that's what my money paid for, huh? You're not the person I thought you were. Baby, you're not the person I thought you were, baby. I'm not sure who you are anymore. From now on, you will have nothing to do with those people. I'm sorry, I said you'll have nothing to do with those people. anymore. Now, I won't tell your mother about any of this, but wipe that crap off your face before your mother sees you. You know, and then he walks away, you know. Obviously, he was upset with his daughter, and I would be too. That was my daughter, you know. But then again, I would have paid more attention to what the fuck she was doing all this time. Okay, I mean, she walks out in the middle of the night by herself. You know, who knows what the fuck she's doing? You know, he doesn't know. He didn't care. She asked for a shitload of fucking money. He doesn't really care what she needs it for. And now he's upset that he found out it was for an abortion, which was illegal back in 1963. You know, so yeah, so I'd be upset too. You know, and she's a fucking kid, but still, you know. Okay, and then he leaves her alone. He leaves her alone. He goes back to fucking his bungalow to be with his wife, and he leaves Baby there. He doesn't make Baby come with him, no. And so what does Baby do after her dad told her, I don't want you hanging out with those people anymore? What does she do? She immediately goes to hang out with Johnny. The same night. And we know what's going to happen there. Okay, all right, I'm going to stop my review right here, but I'll be back shortly to continue my review of Dirty Dancing. I thank you very much for watching this long, and I'll see you soon on the next one. Bye.